All is fair in love and marriage. Discussing everything from A to Z, cause that's the way it's supposed to be, yeah. All is fair in love and marriage. We may agree to disagree, but in the end we know it's you and me, yeah.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on?
It is us,
the Newsomes,
and this is
All is Fair in Love and Marriage podcast.
What He Said. Let's see. Can you beat me?
I can try it.
Let's see.
I gotta say it like your tone and
Everything.
Right. What's good, everyone?
I say everybody.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on?
No.
Okay, try again.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on?
It's us,
the Newsomes, and this is the All is Fair in Love and Marriage podcast.
You so
take
annoying.
every line,
No,
like,
I don't.
sir, this is a us thing.
Right, so let it be us.
Anyway, what's up, you guys? It has been. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute
since it's just been us.
We haven't been down here in the studio.
I mean, well, we were down here when we were.
I mean, yeah, but
it hasn't been us. Us and y'all. It's been
intimate
us and everybody else. And it has been amazing. February was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, God is like blowing our mind, and it's moving fast and
super fast. We can't really keep up.
We can't keep up, but we got to. You know, I mean, this is how I'm gonna keep up.
I'm not even gonna reach for mine because I got on this nice white sweater.
My coffee. Oh, I like your sweater. Thank you. But first, let me thank God because that's definitely what I'm doing.
I am
thankful.
Grateful. Blessed.
Babe, where'd you get these from?
Beacon Threads.
I have patroned them before. No, patronize is that. When you patron something, you buy. I bought from them before.
You are a patron.
I purchased from them before. But shout out to Beacon Threads for these.
Yeah, these ones are fire. These ones are really fire.
Nice and comfy and really dope.
I don't know if that was their fault or service. So we're gonna let y'all rock. We're gonna let y'all rock.
We're gonna say it was COVID.
Right, that's safe too.
However, yes, there has been so much going on in February. We had our phenomenal leaders, Pastor and First Lady Tucker.
Yep.
And we had
the
Knights.
I said it right.
Courtney and Alan, and we had Pastor Dwayne and Lady Mercedes. And then we topped it off with the cherry on the Sunday.
My grandparents, they came and they acted a fool.
It was great.
It was
fun. Super great. I cried.
You always cry.
I cried. I definitely cried. It was a phenomenal moment to be able to sit with wisdom and longevity and
just glean.
Just take it all in. And then we closed out the month holding a little mini seminar.
Fireside chat.
At Niagara University.
New-op.
Yes.
New-op.
Virtually, of course, but it was a blessing
cool.
to be able to sit with, I don't want to say teenagers. They're not teenagers, but college students who just love. That's true.
I was a teenager.
I was old. Not just playing. I was like both. Teen to adult. But it was great.
It
And
was.
like February was like super fast.
It really sped by. It really did. But it felt real busy.
Mm-hmm.
It felt real busy to the point where
not busy but productive.
It felt busy too. I ain't gonna hold you.
For it.
Like we. No, like it was very busy. And this is no complaint whatsoever, but it was to the point where last week we had to take a break.
We took a break.
We had to. Like we really just needed that brief sabbatical to just kind of re-energize and just get back into the flow of things, because man, we were on like second and third gear.
Listen. But one thing I will say, that in hindsight, it may not always be great to take a break in the thick of things, because the enemy can slip in and we could get real comfortable with just being on a little sabbatical, and because tonight I would like to be cozied up in the bed.
Yeah, I'm half asleep right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But
so I apologize in advance for anything I might say that's off the wall.
Yes.
Because when I get sleepy, I'm liable to see it or say
it. But yeah, so like today I was like, man, well maybe we should do it tomorrow. Maybe we can. And in my brain, I'm thinking like, I could do a blooper reel, something, just to try to get out of it. But someone told us the other night, on Friday night, and he said, like we are a blessing and we don't even realize it. And like everything that he spoke to us, I received it, because it was like, okay, like me and Corey just had this conversation. We prayed for this.
Yeah.
We prayed for this. We prayed for our lives to be an example. I told Courtney when we first got married, I said, I don't want to be married just to be married. And if we're going to be married just to be married, I'm going to be single, And in the beginning, it felt like I was married just to be married,
Mm-hmm.
But in all actuality, we were married with purpose. And though the purpose may not have smacked us in the face when we returned back down the aisle as man and wife,
though the vision tarried,
here we are. And I'm going to put this thought on pause.
Why?
Because we didn't say the proclamation.
Oh. I still don't know it.
We're going to say next week, because my notebook is upstairs. I know that it mentions us being two individuals. But
we have different thought processes, but it's okay.
But we are one.
But we are one.
We have different thought patterns, but it's fair.
It's fair, right.
Together we will be transparent, and we will learn to love deeper, to grow
and
go.
That's my part. That's the one that I know. That's my part. All of the rest of it, that's all you.
Jesus.
That's how we do that.
But yeah, so go ahead. You can talk to the point that I put on pause. Do you remember what I was just talking about?
I told you I was half asleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
For real?
Hold on. If you told me one word, I would remember.
I was talking about how now we are here. That's exactly what I ended with. And here we are.
Oh, about how
you said, and though the vision,
though the vision tarried, about how we kind of jumped into marriage without knowing purpose or knowing that we
I
were
didn't say
doing
all of that,
but essentially that's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Tell me why.
And so if you turn with me to the book of Lucifer,
11 and 8.
chapter 11.
I like it. I like it.
No, but we came into it, you know, and she's being very transparent and she's not lying. But there were many times where she was like, I don't want to be married just to be married. But not realizing that there was purpose behind our union, even though we didn't realize it at the moment. And God had to really rock the boat to kind of pull purpose out of us and show it. Not so much to pull it out. Well, I mean, that's essentially what it is. He pulled it out of us, but it was more so to illuminate it for our own eyes.
Right. So
that way we can begin to start walking in it and cultivating what it was that he was trying to get us to. And what we're seeing now is the fruit of those seeds that were planted years ago. And I'm grateful for it. I'm not going to say it's easy by any means, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is the walk that he's called us to. I'm just going to, go over the cliff.
So how do you, so in all of this, in the thick of everything that, God is just bringing to fruition in front of our face, beyond the podcast, now we're booked and busy, signing contracts, and the extraordinary graphics is like ridiculous, and there's been lots of tug on some music. Not to mention, we still work.
Yeah.
We both still work jobs.
Like 10 hours a day.
Very demanding positions. And then, the most demanding position of all.
Parenthood.
We have children. No. And then, the most demanding position of all. Being a spouse to your husband and your wife. And we have to continue to do that. None of this is something that we want to give up. Because we have a vision. And as we go through it, it's becoming more and more clear. But how do you keep pushing when you are exhausted?
When you find out, let me know. Coffee. No, just I think it kind of just goes into you gotta grind it out. Nothing about the grind is supposed to be easy.
That's why all the hood boogers back in the day, they used to wear the same, who's going to shower? We got money to make. What?
Who did that?
The people in the hood that I know. They didn't worry about the bare necessities. So...
And where were they hiding You were smoking it?
Heck no. Absolutely not. Heck no. This was before.
You were smoking booty weed?
This was before college. This was way before college.
Booty weed.
So, how do you push through exhaustion? Remember. Hush.
I told you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Remember I said before in that phrase, when motivation decreases, I'm paraphrasing if you allow. When motivation decreases, drive or persistence should increase. And I guess that this is the moment where that is the case, because every day I'm like, okay, God, you could take me off my job any day. But we have goals, we have dreams, we have visions that for those things, for us to reach that peak, capital is necessary.
Capital is absolutely
and we gon' get to that place where capital is being made in every other stream, that we can let go of that 9 to 5 that is,
or 10 to 8.
yeah, mine is like all day, because I'll pick up my computer any day and
I was legit thinking about jumping back on like an hour ago.
But so like with that, what are the signs that you can tell that I'm exhausted?
You get irritable. When you go to that state, I just leave you alone. I don't got time.
I'm glad that you recognize that.
I don't got time. I love you. But ain't nobody got time to get their face chewed off for no reason because you sleepy.
So like, but what do you? Is there something that you do to add to it? And I'm just playing. Is it something that you do or that you feel you can do when I'm tired? Like,
I mean, I try to like coach you to go lay down. I'm like, I'll do this. Go ahead.
By the time you do that, though, I feel like it's too late. I'm already in the middle of it.
I mean, you can't stop and go lay down.
No, I'm already up. No. So, like, I feel like when I get to that point and I'm already irritable, that I don't even, like, if I get to the place where I'm tired, you're supposed to know I'm tired before I have to get up and do something that I really don't want to do because I'm tired.
But that would mean that I'm reading your mind.
No, you're reading my language. You're reading my body. Or not necessarily you know what I'm about to do, but you know what needs to be done. So, for example, if I'm exhausted and Carter is crying and he needs something, or he needs his diaper changed, or Cordy's asking for yogurt, and like you might be a little tired, or you might be cool, but you like wait for me to move first, and then you be like, no babe, I got it. All right, maybe, I don't know, but like, you really want
to?
I know you lying. I guess I'll answer the question for you, or for myself for you. I think the same goes when you're exhausted, you get irritable.
Sure.
Like this side right here, where he laughing and goofing, nah, that's like the brink of sleepy. I guess I can go to sleep now. But when he's tired, his eyebrows get stuck here. And then he just got a stinky attitude. So what is it that we could do as husband and wife that you think could kind of like balance the load? Like, or is it anything that we can do because we have such strenuous schedules?
We do have such strenuous schedules, and I don't know that there's ever a time where one of us isn't tired, just based on the workload that we both have. But I think it's more so just being aware, firstly, and then just kind of, just being sensitive to the fact that, you may be tired, I may be tired, and if there is anything that kind of presents itself for you to, kind of show that compassion in the moment, do so. If it doesn't kill you in the moment to just go the extra mile. It doesn't either. I don't know. You might not get a reward or a thank you for it in the moment, but in the long run,
I definitely agree. I think that, you know, we can both do better with kind of being empathetic to one another. It is truly a moment of sacrifice, because usually for me, I don't know about for you, but usually when you're tired and I'm tired, and like you have to do something and you might be a little irritated, I'm on the brink of irritability. So I'm like, I'm not about to do nothing extra. I'm tired too. Not all the time. Not all the time. But there are moments when I'm like, yo, we both tired. Like, no, I just whatever. But I definitely have to do better. I think that will in turn help us to go to sleep peacefully. Not that we argue going to sleep, but like just having that peaceful rest as opposed to, oh my God, going to sleep. You know, that silent rest.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
So
I really got nothing to add to that.
So, like, with that being said, I was talking to a colleague earlier today, and I was telling her how I was waiting for my confirmation email from Cozy Maid, because, yeah, we there. We at that point where I am not ashamed to say that I will hire someone to come and do, like, some stuff around the house, but not every day. I ain't there, but like, just to kind of do the things that I feel like I can't do right now. And we talked about how Black families, that was taboo. There was no way that a Black mother should ever hire a house cleaner. Black families shouldn't, hire anybody to come clean their house. They shouldn't have a nanny. They shouldn't do therapy. Like, we just should not ask for help. And she had said to me, that's very true. She was like, that's how, a lot of our Black mothers were growing up. And they were angry and they were tired. And they died angry and tired. And I was like, that's very true. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that mother where, and I was for a while, where I found myself more so concerned with my house needed to be spick and span at all moments of the day, which is unrealistic when I have a teenage daughter, a 3-year-old son, and a 1-year-old son. So like, there has been so many times where I've seen myself be like super stressed out behind the house not being the way I expect it to be. Which in my mind, my house should always be prepared for a realtor to walk through with a potential buyer. Close the door. Which is nuts, okay? Like, I have 3 children. We're married. We have lives. We just go and we're doing things. Like, why in the world would I think that my house is going to be clean at all times? So I finally came to that conclusion where it is more valuable to me to spend time with my family, to love on my children, to love on my husband, to, just rest so that I can be good for them, and in turn pay somebody to, come wash my baseboards. Pay somebody to come clean my floors. And
you said something to me a while ago, where we were kind of discussing the whole topic of the house having to be spit and span all the time. Where I think somebody might have mentioned it to you or whatever, but the fact that the house has, you know, some sort of mess, you know, it just speaks to the fact that it's a lively house. That you know, there's life in the house. There's activity going on, and that speaks to the fact that, I mean, yeah, we got a teenager, we got a toddler, and we got a almost toddler.
You're keeping up with the toddler.
You're keeping up with the toddler, you know. So, I mean, there's times where I'll clean up, and 5 minutes later, you can't tell, just because of the fact that we got little boys that's, you know,
crazy, millions of toys all over the place.
Just creating a tornado through the house. So, I mean,
it is nuts.
But I wouldn't trade it for anything. That's my baby.
I agree. I was sitting on my favorite chair in the living room, and I was looking at like the toys over the floor, and, you know, and I at that moment, very, very much like my heart beats, you know, because there is life in that house, and it's not necessarily. You know, not to discount the way that you transition, your revelation. Not to discount your revelation, but more so that there is life here. You know, there's life. You know, a 1-year-old who has his life ahead of him, a 3-year-old who has his life ahead of him. It's here, you know, and God has given us that gift to cultivate that life. And who am I to tell my children that they can't be children in my house because I don't want to mess with house? Which was the way that a lot of us was raised, you know, with those rooms that had the plastic on furniture. You could not go in those rooms. And I've seen some rooms that all white furniture, all white carpet. Ain't no way. I'm not getting an all white carpet until they move. I'm never getting all white carpet.
I don't move all white ever.
But I mean, like,
or what?
I've come to that conclusion, and because of that, and because I'm trying to break away from the stigmas that, you know, we had to be strong and we couldn't ask for help. I'm breaking away from that. You know, I am like, yeah, if I got a little bit of extra cash, I'm cleaning my kitchen and my bathroom and getting the nitty gritty parts in my living room. And, you know, granted, I thought about this. It might be a waste of money because we got kids. But it'll give me that opportunity to not have to think about it. Because, like I thought about yesterday, after work, there is no relaxation time. You know, it's
not at all.
It's all right. We've been unavailable to our kids for hours. Meals need to be made. The floor needs to be picked back up. Like the last topic I had on my little here notebook. Last couple weeks ago, Court and I were in Ted's waiting for some phenomenal food. We were talking about music, and this has always been a struggle for me.
Not for me.
I know not for you, because you're not saved.
I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the precious gift of the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking.
Dude, this ain't your show. You okay? You wanna lay on me? Okay. So, it has always been a struggle for me. Because to listen to secular music and feel okay. And I don't know why it is a struggle, because I know, I mean, like there's some music that I will try to avoid. because it takes me to a place that, you know, it kind of makes me remember certain things. Like, if I listen to Forever with Drake and Eminem and Lil Wayne, I'm going to go try to be somebody else.
Why?
Eminem, he just get me going. But or you know, certain songs, you know, like,
what's the song that always made you cry?
Tevin Campbell.
Yeah.
Can We Talk?
Can We Talk?
That song, and I don't know why. It's
like,
not a sad song.
It's not.
But it legit takes me to a place where I tried to push through, y'all. I tried to listen to the song in hopes that I would overcome, or I would remember 100% of what it was that caused me to feel that way. I don't know. I have no idea what it is.
You're gonna do an experiment.
I don't know, right? Like on like Flash, I go to sleep and y'all see what's in my brain or something. Like in the laboratory. Anyway, but no, like this song really and I think that what I think is that as a child, because I had, you know, there were some very not bad memories, but there were things in my life that were traumatic. And I think that one of those moments, the song could have simply been playing on the radio. You know, like even if it was like when my pink Corvette got thrown away, my pink Barbie outfit. That moment, I was super sad as a child. So like hearing that song, it takes me to those emotions. I don't know, but that wasn't the conversation. The conversation was just really, you know, just like separating the two, because I have there is a particular gospel artist. She's new, and I'm not favorable of her because I feel like she tries to be she tries to appear secular, and I don't really care for her, and I have a problem with that. And Corey's like, well, why? I mean, she's singing gospel. And I'm like, but is she? And then like it was this one song on the radio that I was like, okay, so you say she's singing gospel. I put up the lyrics. Nothing about God, nothing about Jesus, nothing about.
She didn't say the name Jesus, but everything that she said was toward him.
Or toward Abu.
It wasn't toward Abu.
Whatever.
It wasn't.
So the debate was intense. What was the debate?
The secular music was okay. Pretty much was the foundation of it.
So the debate was what?
Essentially, we were speaking on my thought process that not all secular music is bad.
Right.
Of course, I listen to secular music. I'm a musician. I play secular music as well. I stay away from the stuff that has negative content, such as, you know, the stuff where, you know, they're saying lyrical content that is just that doesn't align with my life and, you know, the values and the qualities that I, you know, uphold. Mm-hmm. But if there's a love song, an R&B song, or, you know, just a happy song that's celebratory, that isn't speaking ill about anything, mm-hmm. I have no problem with it. But like Earth, Wind, and Fire, that kind of music, I love it.
Right.
You know, I have no issue with it. I don't feel conflicted, or I don't feel like me listening to it pushes me further away from Jesus or my relationship with him at all. I feel like I'm good. It's It's not putting me in hell. And I get that, you know, some people operate differently where they feel like they one step closer to hell if they listen to a song that ain't saying Jesus.
And I'm not that person, but because I do listen to not today's R&B, I mean, or rap or hip hop, because it's trash.
See me, I'll listen to some of today's R&B.
Like what?
Like Best Part. I'll sing that to you and with you.
I know. Okay, not that. So I'll say the rap, because back in the day, I used to listen to a lot of hip hop music. Like I used to love hip hop, but I don't know. It's just I kind of feel like, and I think that I have to learn that it is okay to have a balance. I just feel like even when I do, you know, there's a lot of things that I do that, of course, nobody is perfect. Where I might feel like I fall short, or I should spend more time with God, or something like that. And I kind of feel like if I don't, oh my God, I'm doing something so horrible. And I have to get beyond that part of thinking. And I think with growth, and more development, I will. And I won't even say, I guess, growth and development in that area, I will. Because I just feel like I do feel bad. Like even in the car, if we're like if I'm driving Michaela to school and she put on the heat and like an R&B song come on, or she put on whatever, and you know, like this morning she had put on something, I don't even know what the song was, and it wasn't gospel. I was like, girl. And I switched it to gospel because I just felt bad. Like I felt bad, like, you know, starting our day and it wasn't a gospel song. And granted, you know, maybe this was just a download, not to be super deep, but the spirit behind the song may not even, it could be a gospel song, and the spirit behind the song may not be like the spirit behind the song may not be pushing Jesus. You get what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, it's not even about music. I just debated with myself. At the end of the day, it's not even about music, but it's about your own relationship.
It's absolutely about your own relationship. And that's really my stance. What you might feel condemned by, don't necessarily condemn me within myself regarding my relationship with Christ. If there's nothing, you know, granted, of course the Holy Spirit does bring enlightenment and conviction for certain areas of your life. Of course, if there is anywhere that we need to record, if there's anywhere where we need to pull up in our walk, I 100% agree with that. But don't force your conviction on somebody else.
Right. Especially
if there's no biblical map for that topic in Scripture, let it be. And if you're troubled by it, pray for that you know that God deal with them on their own personal level. But don't push your conviction on somebody else. That's my thing. And I feel like we in the church oftentimes are guilty of this.
Absolutely. The church itself, like often, not like people in the church, but like doctrines.
Yeah, absolutely.
And organizations.
And that's what I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
When I say the church, so I apologize for that.
No. You made it clear, but I was saying in addition to that, because sometimes people will say, "Oh, people in the church are so judgy," but a lot of times it is, you know, the people, like the base of it, the foundation. I think that the doctrine, the foundation, a lot of times, a lot of it is, you know, Bible-based, man tweaked. And I think
all of it is.
Yeah, you're right.
whoever started the Reformation or the denomination, they started it because they didn't agree with the stance of the previous foundation.
His name was Martin Luther, right?
Yeah, so that's exactly how Martin Luther started the Lutheran Church.
Look at me, knowing history and whatnot.
Coming out of the Catholic Church because he didn't agree with a lot of the stances of the Catholic Church, so he chose to part ways and start his own.
Part ways, start his own Reformation, take pieces that he did like,
exactly,
and then add pieces that were comfortable to him, and then came Cool JC. You get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Cool JC came much later.
I know it came much later, but like different doctrines and
the Methodists and the Baptists,
all of that.
It's all spanned out of these reformations that just all were just differences in ideals, ideologies. That's all it is. Still Bible based and foundation. But
smart, babe. Sound like Pretty. You so cute. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
You just acknowledging.
But I already know. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the conversation with that, because I was really torn, because there would be times where I would listen to, I would just have a moment where I just wanted to listen to something outside of gospel, and I would feel really bad. I would feel really convicted. Like when. Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. If you feel convicted yourself,
I know.
Follow your conviction.
I know.
I'm not going with you. I mean, just me personally, I don't feel conviction in that light. Like if I want to slow dance with my wife, I'm not slow dancing to Kirk Franklin. I'm not. If we're at a wedding ceremony, if we renew our vows, we're not playing gospel music. We're not. It's not gonna happen.
I hear you.
I'm just too real.
I hear you. No, I mean, like, I definitely understand. I definitely get it.
And that was the second part of the conversation. The debate we were having was about secular music within the church, within the four walls of the church.
Right.
That was really, honestly, where it started.
And I think that's when in Rome, do as they want you to do. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't playing secular music aloud, like out loud, in my mother's house. No, if she could hear it, it wasn't happening. I had to wear headphones or just not listen to it. And for me, I mean, it didn't really matter to me, because a lot of times when or I would have it in my room really, really low. But like, that's fine, because they ain't party. But then, as life progressed, as the reins loosened a little bit, when I got into high school and, became, just became a little more liberated. My mind became a little more liberated. So, like, things changed a little bit, but not crazy. But I just, it just, there definitely has been moments where she was like, not in here. You're not playing your music. Like, and I even with Michaela, when she be like, all right, I'm getting up, she get up Sunday morning for church, and she want to take a shower, and she want to put her music on. Sis, why you putting on the baby? Why you? Shout out to Pastor Tucker. Why you putting on the baby on the way to church? And like, for me, that's like that type of stuff. Like, okay, you kind of gotta get your mind right. You going to church, you don't need to be listening to.
In times of consecration, absolutely.
Yeah, but like, even like, I'm not even gonna say that. Like, even in moments of, you go to the gym, you're not gonna. Some people are weird like this, but you're not gonna listen to Baby making music.
No.
You know, you wanna get hype. So I guess like for me, like music sets a tone, and I feel like if there's a moment where I just don't, I feel like I need to be close to God. I guess that's where it comes. I don't want to listen to secular music, or I don't want to have that. You know, I don't know. I don't know, and it's not clear in the Bible. It's not. It's
not just people's different interpretations of, keeping a that's been personified as an individual.
right.
It's also been, generalized as the actual temple of prayer, like the house of God. But then the question comes down to what's considered unclean.
I was gonna say that. So like for me,
Again, it comes down to interpretation.
I've always been, and we had this conversation. I always was raised where I was raised straight Kojic, okay, and you're not going to the bowling alley. You're not wearing any nails. You're not putting on none of this. I mean, no, I'm not. I am going to Jesus, but like you couldn't do none of that. You couldn't play spades, and let me tell you, I played some spades. Okay, I played spades. Like you weren't supposed to play spades back then. I mean, like it was so much stuff that they said you couldn't do, and as a child, it was rooted, So like now, I think I have a hard time shaking it and breaking away from it because it was rooted, and no one. I'm not gonna say no one, but I haven't really understood the reason why, why I shouldn't do all of this stuff or why I should. And I think that that's really just my issue. I think it's just like a mental thing. Just like me listening to Tevin Campbell jacks me up. So like for me, I'm always gonna have a little tug when it comes to listening to secular music.
I get it. I get it. And then there are some stances where, secular music doesn't belong in the church at all whatsoever. And I'm kind of torn there too. And it might just be thinking as a musician, but even aside from that.
Yeah, definitely thinking as a musician.
But even aside from that, there's so much influence of secular music in gospel music and vice versa, to where I don't know. It's kind of like, but can you really say that you have a stance that secular music doesn't belong in church? Because when you listen to a lot of gospel music, and I brought it up before, like a lot of Kirk Franklin stuff, a lot of his music is nothing more than a secular song with different words.
So let me ask you this question. And I know we probably had this argument like a long time ago. So if I look at you, you're saved, you've asked God for forgiveness for things that you've done that you shouldn't have done. You've been transformed, you've been renewed, old things are passed away. If I look at you and I say, you're still a liar. When I see you, you're a liar. No matter what. I know you dressing up and you look good and you telling me the truth, but you're a liar.
I'm waiting for it.
So for me, it's like that you're no longer that person. You're no longer that individual. You're no longer tied to that. So there's been a change. So for me, with Kirk Franklin's music, Let me finish. With Kirk Franklin music, he's transformed it. It's become gospel. Just like we were talking about Looking For You. I didn't know that song existed, that sample or whatever existed before that. So for me, even now, even if you started to play Looking For You, my mind is not going to go to that old song because I still don't even know, what was the artist's name? See? Can't even think about it. But, like, for me, that song now is a gospel song giving God praise, Looking For You, as opposed to...
But that's only because you didn't know it.
But still, what I'm saying is...
That's the foundation for you.
Okay.
But for many people, like for me, I knew the song before he even thought about doing it. Like, I grew up listening to the song.
I think
so, for me, that's the first thing I hear when I hear that music, because the whole beginning of that Kirk Franklin song is "Let's Go," and then it's a whole like 16-bar instrumental intro, where all I'm thinking about is, I'm about to go to the skating rink and get it in.
I ain't never skated to that song at the skating rink.
I definitely have.
You old?
You're older than me.
No. How old do I look? How old am I, Cordy?
45, 46.
How old am I? 26. How old is Daddy? There we have it, everybody.
Cordy, mommy is older than me. Cordy, your mommy is 50.
Don't believe that.
Say mommy is 50 years old.
Don't make my baby lie. 26.
Don't make my baby lie.
But yeah, so like for me, it is definitely the transformation, and I think that makes it different from being in the church. I don't know, dude.
Nah, that's a cop out.
But is it okay? So that's a cop out.
The music is the music.
That's a cop out for me to not put secular music in the church. So for me, it's like
what I'm saying that just because the words are different doesn't mean that the song changes. The music is the music. So if a band was playing an instrumental of Kirk Franklin Looking For You, they're also playing the instrumental to the original secular song. If if a musician is just playing the music, somebody in the audience might identify it as Kirk Franklin, where another individual might identify it as the original version of the song. The point that I want to make is when, what's the difference of, playing a secular song within a church?
I know, like a wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
If you have a wedding at a church and they, a lot of times they're using secular songs in the course of the wedding. We had secular songs in our wedding. And guess what? God still showed up mightily. Sanctioned the entire thing.
Listen,
so I'm conflicted.
I'm conflicted too
when it comes down to that.
I don't know.
I get house rules and I'll never be one of the best in house rules. Like you said initially. But I don't know. Me personally, I don't see the difference.
I don't know. I'm like super conflicted when it comes to like secular and gospel music, because especially like in the church, because I honestly think that we have pushed the envelope so much that we don't know what to accept anymore. And I guess for me, that's really like a no. But at the same time, I don't we still have to live and laugh and enjoy life and enjoy, life, period, So I don't know. Like for me, it's really tough, and I can't really say what my stance is because it changes. It does when it comes to like music. Um, I think, like I said, there's a time and a place for everything.
I can agree with that.
And that's in the Bible. To everything, there is a season, and that's what I'm saying. With I know the words, but I'm just saying. A time to play secular music and a time to play gospel. It's in the word. But yeah, like for me, I don't think that I will have a stance on that because I just don't know. Along with a lot of principles that are not necessarily in the Bible that some churches say, oh, that's a sin. Some churches say it's not. Some, some believers say it's a sin. Some believers say it's not. So like, there's a lot of things that exist that kind of conflict me. But like you said, if it convicts me, then that's my walk. And if it doesn't convict you, then that's your walk. But I will say, and I said this to you when we were in the car, don't push the envelope. Don't be one of them to push the envelope to make you comfortable. Because I told you this a long time ago. You bend, but you only bend until it don't hurt you.
I don't think in this case that's what it is. Like if there was ever a real conviction for me to feel like, all right, this is wrong, I would stop. Like without anything. Like I mean, there's been plenty of things where a while ago I wasn't convicted by it, but then change happened over the course of time, over the course of my walk. It's no longer a part of my life. But it's just not, and I've prayed about it. I've asked about it because it's not the first time that this conversation has come up, especially within my operation of a lot of my walk that I've done.
So what is different than? So I remember, and I don't mean to bring this up, but I remember when Dad asked you to be a part of the band. And you were like, no, I can't because it's secular music.
Because of my operation at the time, it didn't allow for me to do so. Because of the fact that I was a chief pastor, I'm a mayor to a bishop, I couldn't do anything that would be.
I see what you're saying. You had to.
I had to. When I was in Rome, I had to do as Romans did.
Got it. Okay.
Not to say that I thought it was wrong, because I'll go and I'll watch a secular show all day long. But I just couldn't be one scene participating in
That's crazy because it's like, so for me that's more so bless you.
but that would be
you
like
just
what?
You can't be like in the forefront doing wrong but behind not. That's a different conversation. That is a whole different topic. But yeah, so like I think that with like personal conviction and stuff like that, you'll grow. We'll grow.
Like me personally, I didn't feel like it was wrong to play secular music, especially not the music that my dad was doing.
Right.
But just out of
not everything.
Yeah, there was some stuff that was kind of like,
whoa.
Right. But I mean, me personally, I didn't feel convicted by it, but because of the position that I held, I wasn't allowed to do certain things.
Okay.
So I didn't. Yeah. But since that point, I've played secular stuff before. It was fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself doing it.
I just think that, like, for me, like, and we had this conversation, how you said, like, you feel sometimes the creativity of it, kind of pushes you. It's stifled when you only are stuck with gospel, but I don't agree with that because God will give you creativity that the world has never seen before.
But even past creativity, there's different levels of discipline between different types of music.
God can give you all of that.
I'm not saying He can't, but it brings me back to the point where if there's a lot of churches where if whatever you're playing sounds too not church, you're not allowed to play it.
No, I understand.
So creativity again is
No.
within that box.
No, I get it. No, I definitely get it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Don't enhance.
So my stance is the outlet to be able to express your music in that way. You can't do it in church. So where do you do it?
Here in the studio. Nah, but I mean, like, I definitely hear what you're saying, and it's a very thin line. Like only 2 people that's in the church is really going to heaven. Nah, I say folks is getting in by the hairs of their chinny chin. Skin of our teeth. Enamel.
Some of us don't got that no more either.
But yeah, so like it's hard to determine what is right and what is wrong and what is okay and what's not. Because it's a narrow path.
It is.
But you just have to listen to that small still voice.
And what you're saying, it speaks to relationship. If you aren't working on your relationship and don't know what doesn't please your mate, you'll do whatever without thinking about consequences.
Right.
But when you're in tune with your relationship and
our
relationship, you do what you know is right, and you do stuff that, or you won't do stuff that kind of offends.
Right.
With that being said, I mean, my relationship with Daddy God, I'm good. Like me personally, I feel just as close on Sunday morning when I'm leading worship, if I'm leading worship, as I do if I'm singing a love song or something, or if I'm playing secular music for some given reason. I might be playing a wedding or something like that, and I don't feel any further away from God in those moments.
Right? But like for me, that's my difference. So my difference is, I think it's just where my mind goes when I listen to certain music, and that's really what I started with. Like for me, I don't feel as close to God when I am meditating on Him as I, like when I'm meditating on Him, or if I am driving in the car and an old Nicki Minaj song come on, and I like it, and I play it, or Finesse. I love Finesse. If Finesse come on, and I'm like in there rapping and singing every song, every word verbatim, I don't feel as close to God as I would if I am playing worship music, meditating on Him, and just allowing the music to minister to me as I'm driving to get Michaela from school or whatever, So like for me, that's where the difference lies. That I love music. I like music. All types of music, kind of, except hard rock. Not a fan. But like a lot of music, and it's just this for me. I feel bad if I'm not constantly, if I'm not always seeking Him or constantly, just resting in Him. I don't know. That's just me. Like I just feel like it just brings me a lot, peace. But granted, there are other things in my life that I'm sure, is not pleasing to God. And in those moments, the feelings are the same. Where I feel like, okay, Derek could do better. Even in the moment, I'm like, what are you doing?
And I think we're different in a lot of as far as our expression of relationship with God.
Absolutely.
Just me watching you, you're very, and I'm not trying to call you.
I am deep.
But and that's fine. But just the I don't know. You're very crazily. You're very church in your expression.
I know.
Where me, who grew up in church, I kind of when I'm spending time with God, it's not like.
But mine ain't either.
It's more like what's going on.
Mine's not either. Like mine isn't. It's just really like the way that I'm relational with you and like intimate with you. Not intimately, but like just in your presence and like just with you. That's how I am with God. Which is so crazy because I'm from the streets, okay? Like I'm like from the hood, and he's not. He's from the church, and we're like you said, our like the way we express our relationship with God is totally different. And I think that is because, and I'm not saying that either one of us is more or less than each other. Our callings are different. Our gifts are different. Our purpose is different. So of course our relationship with God is gonna look different. And that's just, I think that for me personally, I am just now getting to a more mature state with that. That I'm learning to figure that out and figure out the nuances of what is required of me because of the gift and the callings that God has put on my life. So I'm 26 and I just got I'm 35 and I am just now getting to a place where I am learning, what God has for me, and I'm learning where He wants me and what He wants me to do. So I'm learning what's required of me, which is different from you because we ain't supposed to do the same thing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So like it's gonna be different, but I don't know. Like we're just. I think that is. It's never up for debate because we're always going to see it differently because we always will have two different relationships with God.
Yeah.
But like you said, do what works for your relationship. The same way we say to everyone,
well, work for y'all relationship, don't work for our relationship.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. And that's okay.
And that is okay.
It's fair.
It's fair. So in the same sense, what works for our relationship, my relationship with God, and Courtney's relationship with God, it works for us. It may not work. It may not work for you. I might need to read the Bible front to back once a month.
Jesus.
Thank God. He's read the Bible front to back. I have not. I know I need to, but I know the word, and I think that is because I think it's because
you in the book.
I've been like it was rooted in me, even the good and the bad. I can't play spades, but I know some things. But whatever. I digress. It wasn't a win. It was what works for your relationship with God works for you and your relationship with God.
Because you was trying to send me to hell the other day.
I was not trying to send you to hell.
Yeah, you was.
I was trying to
tell
you.
No, you're making excuses.
I definitely thought you were making. I definitely feel like
I wasn't.
A lot of times.
I just repeated the same stuff today.
You left out a couple things.
Like what?
It's not enough time.
There was one thing where you tried to make it about money, and that was never a thing. Or even
because that was the creativity. Because I was like for me,
has nothing to do with that.
I was saying Sometimes a lot of gospel musicians will go secular because of money or because and that's what I said, so my thing is you're taking a secular job because you don't feel like God will bless you in the path that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like for instance, okay. For instance, like a pastor may be like, you know what, God, I gotta continue to work, and God is like, no, I need you available. I need you to come off work. I need you to, be be tied to leave everything and cleave to me. You know, and the pastor is like, listen, I can't. Like, I need to work a secular job because I need to make money. And God is like, but you don't trust me. And he come off his job, and God make every bill is paid, every need is met, every want and desire is exceeded. So for me, like a musician, I feel like a musician that God has definitely given you the title. I mean the gift. Why take that and be like, you know what, Lord, I need this check. No, I want this check. So I'm about to go and, put my gifts to something else. I'm about to go play for this Marilyn Manson concert.
But that's for me, and I can only speak for me.
If Marilyn Manson is your email,
no,
good, because I wouldn't touch you.
But for me, like that's never been the motivating factor. Money has never been.
Yeah, but not you. But there are some.
But again, I can only speak for me. And for me, it was more so, and it still is more so about the expression of creativity in creating music. Because again, within the four walls of the church, there's only so far we can go and so much we can do. So those outlets to, express other ideas that I might have musically, or to, shed and share different ideas and exercise and, get workouts and glean from other musicians and learn new stuff. That all happens in other forms that I'm more likely than not secular.
Right.
Because there aren't many areas to be able to do so in the gospel arena as far as like concerts and stuff, because a lot of that stuff don't happen no more like it used to. But like it used to be where there was a concert every Sunday night.
Or sheds.
Or sheds and all that. That doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. And not even because of COVID. It's died off. Like that whole culture of church has kind of died off. Like you'll see a worship gathering, once in a while. But other than that, that's really it. So that ability to really express yourself musically is no longer there. So there might be a Sunday night where I want to go to the Colored Musicians Club and play some secular music with other musicians because it's my opportunity to go and create.
Right.
And I don't feel wrong about that.
I don't think it's the wrong thing to do either. Remember, I told you I digress because I don't know. I don't know. I can't wait for our pastor to do that seminar on
the standard of holiness.
Because everybody has a different standard. But I think that, and I'll say this before we go, I think that there is no one standard of holiness. The standard is based on your relationship with God. Because, for some who, just got saved and they don't really know the word, their standard is a lot lower than ours. In their mind and in their heart, they like, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm doing everything that I know how. Because nobody has taught them.
Right.
But the archbishop, his standard is a lot higher because to whom much is given, much is required.
I hear you.
So there is not one standard of holiness.
But a lot of the problem and the confusion comes in based off of different interpretations of the standards that are laid out within Scripture. And it comes back to the differences in doctrines just based on interpretation of Scripture. Where some people believe that you have to go baptized in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Ghost. Where others believe you go down once in Jesus' name. Ain't no other name that you're going down under, and if you do, you're going to hell. These are standards within the church that are isms and schisms that have kind of separated the church over the course of time. And unfortunately, there's no clarity there. Because again, it's all based on individual interpretation of Scripture. The same text, the same Scripture, just different interpretations. And I feel like that's always going to be the case because, again, nobody has it all. And nobody ever will.
No, we won't.
Great are the mysteries of God. That's just my stance.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you gulp your coffee or do you sip your coffee?
Depends on the temperature.
When it's warmer, like
When it's hot coffee,
to
I'm sipping.
enjoy your coffee.
I like
Is it better
I like to
gulp
savor
it?
it. No, sipping, let it rest in your pause. Let it just sit on your tongue for a minute. Taste the coffee. Like me, I like to taste the coffee. You don't really like it.
I like the way my coffee tastes, but I don't like to taste
See, I like to taste
Arabica beans.
a good.
Arabica beans. Is that it? Arabica. I don't like to take beans. I don't like to taste those. Add some French vanilla creamer, and then we alright. A lot. No, enough. But no, I was just wondering because sometimes I drink it and it like. You sleep. Well, we thank you guys. It's been amazing.
Clearly we missed.
I know. But
I'm about to go to bed.
yes, it is bedtime in the house of the Lord. So we thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
And as always,
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Follow us
on Instagram and Facebook. And just, stick with us because we're going places. It's been real. This is
All Is Fair in Love and Marriage podcast.
Have a wonderful day.
Say bye.